Just wait for Iesha to come on. Who have we got?
Yay!
Yay! Awesome. All right. So if you don't want your video, I'm just going to turn videos. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just going to mute. Okay. Now we have bliss.
Yes.
All right, so we'll just give them another couple of minutes. Feel free to turn your videos off if you want them off, or if you want me to turn them off for you. There's a chat box there, so you can just pop something in the chat and let me know to turn it off if you don't remember that. Emily's on, Lisa's on, Emily's on twice. You're in two places at once, Em. All right, just see who else was on the call. So just want to make sure everybody is tagged all the right people. We've got more people. No, Lisa, just Emily's, you now only have one of Emily. All right. Okay, let's just get cracking, because what I'll do is I'll put this recording in the group once we're done. So anyone can watch it.
And the camera's not so in my face, so yay. I like a bit of distance between me and the camera on gym day. Yeah.
When you get the 4 at the start of your age number, that's when we need a little more distance, and that's okay.
Yeah, just a bit of distance. Yeah.
All right. So for those of you that are watching this recording, what just happened was a bit of a shit show in the group as far as trying to get this up and running as a Facebook Live. We had a bit of echoing, and at first I couldn't get her on. So it's been, we've been at this for 18 minutes now. And Iesha started talking before, but basically the reason that I wanted to interview Iesha is because I want to show you guys how simple it is. And when I say simple, I don't mean easy, but how simple it is to take your coaching business from struggling, hey Jenny, to being able to sell 2 $5,000 packages in 2 weeks, which is precisely what Iesha did. And yeah, she sold those 2 coaching packages within 2 weeks of one another. The first one came about, a little over a week after working together, I think. And then there was a bit of a lag, and then she sold the other one. So it can be done. It's very easy. Simple, not easy. It is simple to go from, I'm just going to mute you guys, to go from, not making enough money in your business to having a 10 or a 20K month. And you can see that now, right, Iesha?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to hand you the floor, and you can just go a little crazy.
Oh, awesome. I love the floor. So before in Echo Town, I just was doing a bit of a backtrack and just saying, I've known you for ages, but I got such amazing value out of doing your Create Your Online Program course, which I've tried to do a few times, but it was so simple and I got great engagement, and it just gave me a really good lift, and that was free. So it was amazing. And then I did your coaching systems package. And when Michelle asked me about my budget for coaching, I'm like, zero. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars into coaching in the last 12 months that haven't actually created a change. I've grown and evolved as a human being, but they haven't actually created any change in my business. I can't do it. I can't get into more debt, blah, blah, blah. And by the end of our conversation, I'm like, rightio, I'm going to find that money and make it happen. So I did. And I created this $5,000 package out of the content of the 2 books that I've written and my best work. It's kind of, my why makes me cry. And I'm just like, I just love what I do. And I could really see it coming. The conversation with Michelle took out what I already do. We didn't create anything new. We just took what I actually do and what I love doing and put it into words, and Michelle made it into a sales page. So some of the other coaches that I've seen have they've listened to me and gone, right, you should micro niche into this bit, or it's like what I was doing wasn't enough. And so they tried to create something else, and then I'd be out of my sweet spot. I'd feel like I was in a straitjacket. I'd hate it. And then they go, oh, you're sabotaging the whole thing, which rinse and repeat. I've done that a few times. So Michelle just took what I was doing, saw the value in it, took the words out and actually turned it into a sales page in less than a week. I Ieshaed it up a bit and just made it the words mine, and away we go. I did a couple of emails out to my database who have been used to accessing me for $165 an hour with no pattern. They can come willy-nilly whenever they want. And I was like, no one in my existing database is going to want this. They're used to accessing me whenever they want. And Michelle's like, you just, just wait. You might be surprised. And my first gorgeous woman that signed up, we've done work over a couple of years. And I kind of divide my work up into, mentally into crisis to okay, and then okay to fabulous. And so many people come and we get to okay and then they stop. And that's what this woman has done. And then she's kind of gently gone back into her stuff, and then she comes again in 6 months and she's kind of back to blur. So her going, right, $5,000, she had to really stretch to get the cash. She's supported financially by her husband. She wasn't valuing her role, so it felt like a favour and all of this stuff. So our discovery session actually got her empowered into who she was as a woman, what she was offering. That money's ours. Here's what I want to do. Not, oh, honey, can I? And the change in her, it was just amazing. She got that change from the moment she decided to invest that $5,000. She rocked up to session 1 already with all of this energy that she's never had for our work before. She's come in a bit kind of, So she came in empowered. We just had our second session yesterday and she was just about in tears. And she said to me, ever since I made this decision that I was worth spending this money, all of a sudden she's doing all the stuff that she either knew to do, like she's exercising for half an hour every day. She's never been able to hold that pattern. And she mostly knew what to do but wasn't doing it, but also didn't know how to implement what I was suggesting. But that decision to back herself has made her step up, and she's being more of herself. So exactly what Michelle did for me. It's not that what you're doing is wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. It's like, let's make you and your life more of you. And that's what I'm doing for her.
I think that was, because I think you said to me yesterday, she actually said to you, thank you so much for charging me $5,000.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Which is just so cool. But what the other thing that I got from that is you role modeled that for her, even if it was subconsciously, because you just did the same thing for yourself.
Yes.
And that's what I want you guys to get more than anything else, that when you elevate and you step up, you really pave the way for the people in your community to come and do the same. And so Iesha, was saying to me, there's no one on my list that's going to buy this program. There's no one on my list, they pay $160. And like I say to everybody, because when Iesha said that, that's not unusual. I hear that all the time with my clients. And I just said, look, you will be very surprised at where your first client comes from. And look at the transformation that's taking place because you stepped up and you really made it clear. And then this is having this effect on her as well. And what I love about this is I did the same for myself. I didn't invest in anybody, but I made the decision to just take my business in a different direction, to coach in a different way, to give more of myself in my coaching because I hadn't been doing that. I've been very much a strategy person and, I was very much there as support for people. If anyone needed anything, I was there, but I've never been as all in as I am with my coaching clients right now. And that has just meant, I'm giving so much more than I ever have. And it might not look like that from the outside looking in, but energetically, when I say I'm all in, I mean it. And you got to experience that. Yeah.
And in terms of support, like what I loved about, I think I said to you, this is the first time I've invested in my business and had a return on that investment monetarily ever, where I haven't had to reframe it in terms of growth in some other way. It's like I invested $5,000, I've made that money back in the the time limit. And I've also shifted the whole rest of my business and gotten rid of some I've moved away from some of those clients that don't actually want change as well. So that's been really awesome. The couple of discovery calls I've had that have been a no for me and for them have been really great. It's like, imagine working with people like you do that are all in. That's what I want. That's when I can actually use my skill set. So satisfying.
Yeah, and that's, like I said earlier in the live, I did 6 coaching calls yesterday. One was with you as we wrapped up, and another lady finished up as well. And that, that's a big day for me. I typically don't do that sort of working day, and I was pretty knackered by the end of it, but I was also so energized. And that's what it comes down to with the sweet spot offering. There's no way I would take on 6 coaching calls if I wasn't in my sweet spot. I'm just going to make sure that I turn Emily's video off as she comes on. Stop video. There you go, Emily. So you should be off video now. There you go.
Oh, sorry, go.
No, go on.
I was going to say, your all in felt, because I've always been a bit stumped by the techie stuff. So you're all in. It was so great that someone else, it wasn't as I had to pay, we got this great idea and then I had to go and pay someone else who might be a dickhead to do the website and I get disappointed. Like, you kind of did all of it, which was awesome. And you were also all in celebrating with me. Like, before the discovery calls, I'm like, oh, discovery call, or you'd message me because you knew it was coming. And when we got that first yes, it was just like, oh my goodness. And your excitement was so real and genuine. It's like I got to receive in a way that's actually quite unusual for me. Like, because I work in my own business. I'm a single mum. There's a lot of that stuff that I do on my own, which is fine. So I'm naturally pretty effervescent and dynamic, but to have someone else dynamic going yes as well and being encouraging and supportive beyond the practical, that was really significant for me and lovely to receive. It was like a bonus.
Oh, awesome. And so for a little minute, let's talk about the pace of the program, because it's pretty breakneck, isn't it?
I didn't find it breakneck. I just found it to me, I'm a let's do this.
Yeah.
It's like, once I've decided to do something, let's do it. And competence is so attractive to me. When someone says they can do something and then they actually can do it, it's like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So I think any longer and it wouldn't have had the momentum. So it's like, we'll have that conversation. The ideas were there. If I had have sat with it any longer, I just would have gotten more silly with the wording. Let's get a version of it up. And I've fiddled with the wording on that sales page about 3 times, but it existed. And it's always easier to edit something that exists. So to me, the pace was perfect. I was at the point of, this has got to change and I don't want it to change in 6 months. So it was good. I was thinking about it daily, but there wasn't a list of 6,000 things to do every day. Like, I didn't feel overwhelmed at all.
No, I guess what I'm talking about is, there's 2 things I want to touch on there. And the first thing is, you did keep going back to the page. And one of the things that is a tendency, and left to your own device, because remember that there was a little bit of perfectionism going on about this word's not quite right. And I'm like, okay, I've got to stop now, because this
doesn't matter. Yeah, drop it, honey.
Let's just don't sell the thing. And so that's great, because I got to pick that up, because a lot of people will procrastinate over that stuff and they think that it's got to be the perfect word and all the rest of it. And so the pace, it felt fast for me because I was pushing you, but I was, as you say, we had the idea and then it was me like, okay, game on, I've got to create a sales page. What are the images? How am I going to make this thing look amazing? And then, okay, now we're going to talk about how to sell it. But for you, which is a really good point, for you, it felt comfortable because I was like the duck on the pond, making sure everything was going on in the background. Yes. And then you just had to focus on the bits that you needed to focus on. So it didn't actually require a lot of time for you. You just had to look at it and go, yep, I'm totally aligned with that. Now I need to go sell it.
Yes. Yeah. And it felt like this amazing synergy because I know I'm competent at what I do, and to actually relax and receive all of your competence made us better than the sum of our separate parts. And to me, that is not what I've found in the coaching relationship before, and you've raised the bar now. I'm just like, no, not that. I'm going to get better at discovery calls as a client, so much better.
And it's really just about, sorry, I'm just doing things as we speak. So it's really just about, what was it? Where was I going with that?
I was talking about the synergy. So like I just had to focus on my bit, and you were doing your bit so well. I didn't have to check in with you or manage you at all.
No, it really is a team effort. And that's what it comes down to. It's that beautiful team effort. And so Iesha was able to focus on the things that she needed to do to the money-making stuff, you know, getting those discovery calls, chasing down leads and things like that, and having the calls. And then there's always that wriggling into the sweet spot and, you know, getting better at the discovery calls, so that in the end you feel like you wriggle, you feel that, oh, I'm in my sweet spot now I get it, now I get who I don't want to work with, I want more of these people, and then you get to see how easy it is to close the deal when the market matches the solution that you have. But you touched on something else, and that was about, you know, it's the first coaching package you've done where you've actually received a financial return on investment. And so those of you watching, this package is $5,000 plus GST. And so Iesha sold 2 $5,000 packages in that time. And that's why this package is so popular, because it works. Do you know what I mean? It works. There is, everybody that has done this program has sold one. So once I've built the sales page, which is usually within a week, and then we have that second call, it's been 10 days or less, and they've sold their first $5,000 package. And it's just a process that works. And that's why I feel so, I want to shout it from the rooftops. I want to tell people to leap, because even if you only ever do this $5,000 package with me and you get your return on investment, say you only sell one, you've made your money back, but you've also set your business up, and you now have elevated yourself to a high ticket coach. You know exactly who you want to work with. And it's not just a theory, because you actually have a sales page. And I usually, so Iesha won't mind me sharing, but when she came to me, I created the sales page, and I said, do you mind if I just like fix the rest of your website? And so I basically did a total rebuild on her website, created a discovery call page, embedded a scheduler, which you didn't have, which is making your life easy. And so it's not just the package, it's all of the moving parts that you need. And if I think the rest of your website isn't going to support the high-end coaching, I just get in there and do it. I don't charge you for it. It's just what I do because I want to set you up to be successful. And I'm probably doing a lot more than coaches would do for charging this price, but I want you to be successful. And I also know that when Iesha's got to sell one more package, and then she's in my inner circle. And
so
yeah, you so are. And
let's have an interview in 6 months, and it'll be like, you know.
Yeah, and so that's the thing for me. It's like, I know I can get you in there and selling a $5,000 package like that. I know I can do that. And then when you do that once, and then when you do it twice, it's like, oh, okay, now I can do this. And then I invite you into the inner circle. But even if you ever did this, if this is the only thing that you did, you've already elevated yourself. You have a product that you can go and sell on repeat. You know how to sell it. Sorry, I'm just turning.
And a whole lot of clarity on who it's for and what that sweet spot is, which is honestly priceless. Really priceless.
Yeah. And I love that when you mentioned earlier, you said, I didn't try to tell you to do anything specifically. It was just start talking, and I'm drawing out, what do you do best? What's going to feel easy for you? Where do you have the greatest impact? Because my sweet spot is creating packages, is helping coaches create those packages so that they have something that feels like a sweet spot and it's easy to sell. That's the thing that I do better than anybody else, I think.
And you really, really do, because this is not the first time I've tried to do that. Yeah. And the last person charged me $16,000, and we did not. Yeah, she poo-pooed the two things I came up with, and then finished it telling me, oh, you did write that book a few years ago, do something around that. That was our last session. It's like, well, I started there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, so it's not poo-pooing that. That's I've owned that and whatever, but it's such an amazing thing. And I was looking at, rebranding and spending the rebrand. It was $8,000 for just the website part of the rebrand. And I've already got this massive upgrade. It's all looking, aligned. And I am right now embedding videos, doing a program. Like, you've taught me how to actually use my website, which is what I got out of our last session. So I'm putting my stuff up on YouTube. That free program I talked about at the start is going to be a giveaway on my website. And I feel empowered technologically for the first time in my entire business. I've always had to outsource that, and there's been a lot of hope and disappointment in that cycle, not finding the right competence. And I don't mean to sound like a victim. It's just been, you've got a trial and error.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm right now, I've got videos uploading on YouTube, I'm using the links, I've made photos in Canva, and Michelle taught me through that in a session that wasn't even an hour long, I don't think, yesterday. So I feel empowered. I feel like I'm so joining that inner circle next package sell.
Yeah.
But that will be to create something else. It won't be because I don't know what to do with what's already been built.
Yeah, and that's the purpose of the inner circle. So we may as well talk about that, because when I take a coach and we create the $5,000 package and you get them selling it, for me, that program came around by default, because I just really wanted people to stop freaking out about the money. And it's like, the quickest way I can get people to make money is to sell something for $5,000, and they're not thinking about it. And then it just evolved into this thing, and it's just been a happy accident of freaking awesomeness. And then, but like you say, you then know how to do that. And for me, it's like, I have been coaching since 1991. I've been coaching coaches since 1999. I know a lot. I started my first coaching business, and then I went to the local paper and I said, let me write a column for 12 weeks. And I wrote a column, and there was no freaking internet back then. And so that's how I built my first coaching business. And then I created online businesses and things like that. So I know it all. I've done a lot of it. And so for me, it's like the coaching, the inner circle is not about taking people through a syllabus program, because that doesn't work, I don't think, as a group, because they start at the beginning and everybody scatters like cats at different levels. So it's 6 individual coaching programs and a group community where we all come together. And so what's great about that is I am just sharing everything I know. So it's like, okay, we've got this. Now you know how to sell a $5,000 package. We know you're established as a high ticket coach. Now we need a downsell. We need an upsell. We need a recurring income revenue stream. And then we've got the time to build that out. You're not worried about money, because you know to pay me and to live, you just got to sell a couple of packages every month, and you know how to do that. And then we get to focus on the stuff that really matters, which is building sustainable, sustainable and rigorous coaching business that's going to be able to withstand, the ups and downs that inevitably happen. So you can turn some products on, turn some products off. It doesn't happen overnight, but you've got me for 6 months to basically, ask any question, for me to guide you to go in the right direction. And it's incredible, the growth that not just you, but the other women that I've been working with has been incredible, because I think you would agree that when you come on and you create this package and then you go sell it, and then you see the impact you're having on your clients, and you only get to have that impact because they're paying you that much, and so you can give more, then that's when you really come alive as a coach. And when you really get to see that there is so much more to this thing than what you're already doing, and you expand and you grow into somebody different, somebody more expanded.
Yeah. And I've, like, to borrow that, I'm trying to think who it was, the Think and Grow Rich guy. He talks about you've got to outgrow your present space. You've got to more than fill where you are. And I feel like I've been there ever since I published that first book. So I've been there for about 5 years, and I've put so much time and money into trying to find a you. And what's fantastic is that you come with the skills I don't have. And so I'm developing those skills rather than finding someone that just feels like do you know what I mean? We could always be friends, but like that idea of someone that's so aligned with you that they basically don't offer anything that you don't already know how to do. It's been this really great coming together that's been just magic for me. And if I can do this in a month and it's sustainable, the whole way I'm thinking is really different, then I think, wow, like that's why the 6 months is, I know it'll be unrecognisable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And you know that, and I think that's the beauty of this program as well, and the swiftness of it, because and that's why, you know, and that's how I realized what is my skill set, and how can I help this, how can I make this happen faster for coaches? And it's like, just let me build this crap, like just let me build the pages instead of sending people off, because like you said in your words, you know, hand it to somebody who may be a dickhead, and then you know, and then you can lose 3 months trying to get a sales page built. And in the and then I used to say, no, you have to write the copy, and then and it's just like, just let me write the copy. And so now I just do the whole thing, and I'm good at it. You know, I have a little Rain Man moment where I get off the calls that I do, those initial calls, I open up my notepad, and I just, this download comes and all of the content's there, and then I send it through, and it's like, yep, that's the thing. And then we evolve on it from there. And so
there were sentences you wrote in that initial brain download that were like me via you and back to me, that were just like, oh my God, I remember going, oh, yes, that's what I've never been able to put into a succinct sentence. Yes, which was just priceless.
Yeah. And I'm owning that I'm good at that now. Do you know what I mean?
You really are.
And I've had so many different coaches from different industries, different niches and all the rest of it. And I have that moment, and it comes out, and then it's like, okay. And then, like I said to you, I send it off, and then I'm like, you know, I get this little, oh, is it okay? And they're like, I love it. And I'm like, oh, you know, it feels like such a, you know, I'm basically taking your brain and all of your ideas and saying it out loud for you, and just hoping that I'm hearing you correctly and I'm getting the message right. And without fail, it's, you know, 95% of the way there every time, sometimes 100%. So, so guys, if this feels like something that you need to do, I've only got a couple of spots left in December. So book yourself a discovery call. Iesha, is there anything else you would like to say before we go? And if you have questions, guys, please post them in the chat box and we'll get to them. But is there anything final that you would like to say, my love?
Don't know. I have to watch it back and go, what did I say? I'll think of something afterwards. But yeah, just it's just such an exciting thing to be able to share with whoever's watching, that this isn't like, this is something really practical and really real and really recognizable, and your competence is like in stone now. Do you know what I mean? In terms of, not that it was ever in question, but I've seen it, I've received it. And so just, for people that are ready for that are in that, that I've like, I call it when you're pot bound. It's like you're in this pot, you can't grow anymore. It's like, it starts to get frustrating. You just think, I want to quit my business, or something's got to change, or like if you're in that point, it's just a no-brainer, really. It's just been ace.
Thank you. And I think
now there's no pot. It's like the whole world's my pot.
And I guess the last thing that I want to talk about, because I know $5,000 is a lot of money. I know it is. But what I really hope people get is that you didn't come to me dripping in money.
Oh, no. Yeah, my budget was $0 when I filled in your form. No more coaching, no.
Yeah. But you found it, and you just backed yourself, but you also trusted in me, and we're on the other side of 4 weeks and you're $5,000 sales in. And that's the difference between saying yes and really trusting it, and continuing to sit on the fence. So I think you said to me, this is the thing I've needed in my business for 15 years. And 15 years ago, I wasn't doing this and we wouldn't have been a good fit. But right now, it's the perfect time. So if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you just can't do this on your own, or you want to get there faster, just, message me, book a discovery call. Let's start talking, and let's get you selling $5,000 packages. And I want my mastermind full by January. You know, there's a couple of awesome women out there at the moment. Iesha's going to be number 3. I don't doubt that. She's got to sell one more package. And then there are 3 more spots. And I have, there's 2 people going through my 5K formula for coaches at the moment. One of them definitely will be offered a position. So they're going to fill up. And then when that inner circle fills up, it's going to be capped at 6 people. So there will only ever be 6 coaches in there. And if they don't want to leave, then you're not going to get a spot. Do you know what I mean? It goes for 6 months, but you might get 6 months into it and realize that, you know, you might decide that you want to do another 3 months or another month or whatever it is. And so now's the spot to get in. I'm also, for anybody new that comes in January, I'm doing a price rise. It's $4,500 a month at the moment to join the inner circle. It's going to be 5.5, maybe even 6.5 because I'm worth it. So now is the time to do it. And I'm pushing you like that because the longer you wait, the more you delay the success that you're able to create like Iesha has. And, you know, I want to work with you guys. I want to help you coaches get there. I'm really excited as well about elevating our industry because the coaches that I have that are doing business type coaching like I am with specific niches are saying the same thing as you, Iesha. They're saying, you know, I've never had a coach where I've had a monetary return on investment and I've never had a coach give so much. And I'm a better coach for it and my clients are better coaches for it. So I'm juiced and excited about the fact that because I've held myself to a new level as a coach, my clients are holding themselves to a new level. Their coaches are feeling that and those coaches are holding themselves to a new level. And it feels exciting. And I think, you know, I'm going to make a big headway over the next 12 months of elevating the coaching community that really took a hit for the reason that you spoke about. You know, a lot of people are, you know, I spent 20 grand on a coach and I haven't received anything. And sometimes it's about the person, you know, the coaching client, but sometimes as well, it's about coaches not being confident enough to say, you will get your money back if you invest in this with me. And I've always not wanted to do that because you never know if your coaching client's going to pull their weight. These days I veto fairly strongly and I 100% put my money where my mouth is. You spend $5,000 with me, you're going to make it back in, you know, 4 weeks or less. Anyway, that's it. I'll get off my soapbox now.
All true. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any questions, but great to have you guys on the call. As soon as this recording's ready to go, I'm going to pop it in the Facebook group so you can re-watch it again. And Iesha, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. You did this for no reason other than to just help me out, so I appreciate it.
Love, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Take care. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.